Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. So for today's video, I thought it would be a great idea to show you guys how to highlight and contour using creams. I realized that I never really did an actual highlight and contour with cream video. I feel like I might have in the past, but even if I did, here is an updated version. So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've seen this technique all over social media, and I used to use this technique a lot back then, but as times have changed, my style has changed as well. I just prefer a more subtle look these days. So I don't really use this technique anymore because I feel like it's so time consuming, but in case anyone's interested, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I would do it. So the start of this tutorial is this palette right here, and I know there's a lot of flashbacks, so I'm just going to show you guys how it looks like. This is the Graftobian Glamour Cream Super Palette in the shade Warm. So I wouldn't really say these are concealers because they are such a rich and creamy texture, and I used to use this palette in my kit. I just never repurchased because it is on the pricier side, but now that I have it again, I forgot how much I loved it. These are super pigmented, they're satin smooth. I used to mix these colors together to make a foundation because they're so full coverage and they have a matte finish. This palette is perfect for makeup artists because it has all of the colors that you need all in one palette. Each of these shades are available individually if you don't want to buy the whole palette. It does retail for $84, but I have a 10% off coupon. I'll leave a link to this palette down below along with the coupon code. Alright you guys, so that is it, and let's go ahead and get started. So I like starting off with a base, and I'm applying a light layer of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation with my Sigma 3D HD blender. And I really love using the flat side because I feel like it helps apply it evenly and it applies a really light layer. Now going in with my Graftobian cream palette, I'm taking this light shade right here and drawing an upside down triangle underneath my eyes, and I'm applying to the high points of my face and anywhere where I want the light to hit the most and areas that I want to be brought forward. Now taking the darker shade right here, I'm applying that to the contours of my face, and if you slightly suck in your cheeks, you can see the lines, and that's where I'm applying it. I'm also applying it to my forehead and along the sides of my nose. Now I'm taking a dual fiber brush to blend it out, and I'm not really sure why, but I just prefer a dual fiber brush because I feel like it gives me a more beautiful finish. You always want to make sure that you work quickly because I do notice that no matter what products you use, these products will dry very quickly, so you always want to make sure to work quickly but also blend it out very well. And then for the highlights, I'm using the blender. Now to set my highlight, I'm using my favorite Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm just taking it on my blender and pressing that into my skin. Now taking a small brush, I'm making sure to dust off all of the powder, but also very carefully because you do not want to move the product around. Now to set the contour, I'm using my favorite bronzer, It Cosmetics Sunshine in a compact on a smaller angled brush, and I'm pressing that into my skin. And for blush, I'm using Quarter Rosa Aura Powder by Sigma and a Sigma angled blush brush, and also pressing that into my skin. Now for my highlight, I'm using the Dose of Colors Gold is the New Black Supreme Highlighter on a Sigma F42 strobing fan, and I'm applying that to my cheekbones and right above the arch of my brows, and I just love the way that it looks. Now to slightly intensify, I'm using the shade Milk and Honey, I believe. And I'm just adding it right to the tops just to give it a little bit more pop, and also down my nose and on my cupid's bow. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching.